How's it going, y'all? I wanted to talk about how I stay motivated building SaaS, especially because I have been building SaaS alone by myself for the past 5 to 6 months. And truly, it can get lonely at times. There are also definitely times where things get frustrated and you feel like giving up. You think to yourself, why am I even doing this in the first place? So, with all that being said, I want to give you 5 ways that I am able to stay motivated building SaaS by myself. And hopefully, some of these resonate with you. And if you're feeling stuck or just frustrated with your journey, you can lean on some of these ideas to help yourself throughout your journey. So, starting off with the first method for staying motivated is celebrating the incremental wins. And when you're building a software product, it can't all happen at once. It has to happen in parts, in chunks, and it's really easy to get bogged down in the fact that your SaaS application isn't completely done yet. You don't have anything that you can give a user, but that doesn't mean you have nothing. Throughout the process of building, you're going to be able to have these small little victories along the way, and it's really important that you celebrate the wins along the way. So for myself, some of these examples include even when you're just first starting off and you've got the designs for what your SaaS is going to look like. That's something you can celebrate because you can look at these designs and say, hey, this is what my SaaS will look like whenever it's done, and you can celebrate the fact that you're one step closer. Also, some other milestones include finishing out the back end for your project or finishing out the front end, setting up your database, learning something new. Honestly, there are so many little things throughout the process that are going to be frustrating, and then you figure out, and it'll be this huge sigh of relief. And if you're able to enjoy those moments as much as possible, it's going to make it much easier to want to get to the next milestone, and eventually, before you know it, your entire product will be done. For myself, the biggest incremental win throughout this entire process was actually getting my first paying user. And my product was still in like an MVP state at this point, but just seeing that Stripe notification coming through and seeing that someone actually paid money for my SaaS application was such a motivating factor to continue improving the product and also continue the marketing efforts. This was a huge win for me and something that I definitely took the time to celebrate. And now in this current moment, I'm still celebrating incremental wins, even though my SaaS application is fully launched. And like I said, I've got a single user, which is cool, but I'm still going and I'm still learning and I'm still celebrating these wins along the way. And that is a huge reason for why I can stay motivated over this long period of time. Moving on to the second method for how I am staying motivated is I'm an actual user of my product. So when I first start out to build Dinnerbee, and if you're new here, that's what I am building currently. It's called Dinnerbee. It's a platform for couples, roommates, or families to plan their meals effectively throughout the week. And I am an active user of that product because I initially built it for my girlfriend and I to use, and it is something that we use every single week. We can plan out our meals throughout the week, generate grocery lists so that we can just go to the grocery store once, have everything that we need for those meals that we planned. And then as I'm cooking, I am able to look at the recipes that I have generated and make sure that I can just follow the recipes while I'm cooking. Because I am an active user of my product and I know when things can be better. And so I can take all of that knowledge as a user and bring it back into the platform and know that everything that I'm doing will improve the experience for a user inside of my application, which is really a huge motivating factor. I want the platform to be the best it can possibly be so that I can use it and I can enjoy it as much as possible. And then that in turn creates the same experience for a user. This is something that I'll likely make a whole video about, but I do really think it is incredibly important to be an active user inside of your SaaS application for many other reasons, but in particular for this video, being an active user keeps me motivated to build an amazing product. Moving on to the third way that I stay motivated, even though I'm just building alone in my room, is I love building. I love creating. And I love the feeling that comes with seeing an idea that was once in your head is now a physical thing. Physical might not be the right word, but it has manifested itself in some form. And in my case, it's a web application. I truly think that you have to love the process and you have to love building and creating in order to be successful in this space. There have been many times where I've been stuck on a bug or just something that I couldn't really figure out. And if I didn't have the love for creating and didn't have the drive to learn new things, I think I would have given up a long time ago. But building has always been in my nature. I'm also a software engineer in my 9 to 5. So all of these experiences that I've had have really contributed to the ability to stay motivated throughout this building process. And this kind of goes back into the last point, but just being able to build something that benefits myself is a huge motivating factor as well. So not only do I love building, but I love making my life easier. So if you can combine these two things, it can be a really powerful effect to staying motivated throughout this process. Moving on to the fourth way that I'm staying motivated throughout this process is I see the act of building SaaS and building a software business as a long-term game. I really do see it as a business. And I think some folks get into this space maybe expecting that they can make a lot of money in a relatively short amount of time. And don't get me wrong, for some folks that is the case and they are able to do that. But I think for the vast majority of folks, success comes from a concentrated effort over a long period of time. And what I mean by that specifically is Dinnerbee is the first SaaS application that I've built, but it will absolutely not be my last. I plan to build at least 2 more this year in 2025, and I just want to keep doing this, repeating the process and improving myself and improving the way that I write code and I build SaaS applications. And over time, this is going to be a really powerful compounding effect where if you just keep trying and you don't give up, you have given yourself the opportunity to succeed. So it's really important to get into the mindset of not expecting to see immediate results. If it happens, amazing, and congrats to you. But I truly do think that for the vast majority of folks, this will not be the case. And so going back to the first point, if you can celebrate your incremental wins and you can learn from all of your mistakes and failures, it'll create this mindset of, I'm a business owner. I'm not just a guy who's building SaaS. I'm a business owner who's trying to refine their skills and hopefully eventually land on a product that makes them a lot of money. In this sense, there's also no rush too. So I think part of the demotivating factor can come from burnout. People who work way too hard, way too fast. And I think I've paced this journey out pretty well where, this isn't a crazy complicated application that I've built, but it still took me 4, 5, 6 months. Don't get me wrong, I was creating content along the way, which slowed down the process a little bit, but I never was in a position where I felt like I had to get something done or I was in a rush to do something, because a lot of times that's what I feel during work, and I don't want to bring that into my personal life as well. I'm building this in my free time before and after work on weekends, but I want that to be a relaxed and pleasant journey. So I treat myself nicely, I give myself breaks, and I give myself plenty of time to do the things that I want to do. And all of these things that I do kind of just create a positive aura around building SaaS, which I believe is incredibly important, because you never want to be looking at your computer and saying like, I don't want to do this today. I want to hop into my chair and be like, what cool new thing are we going to learn? What cool new thing are we going to build? And so that will finally bring me into my last point, and the last way that I am staying motivated while building SaaS. And that is, while I may be building alone, I am not necessarily alone in this journey. What I mean by that is I share my experiences and I talk to folks about the software that I'm building all the time. So I do this in 2 main ways. The first, obviously, is this YouTube channel that you are watching right now. So, hey, thanks. You should subscribe. If you like SaaS content and building software and all that kind of stuff, you should subscribe, by the way. I would love to have you around. Anyways, back to what I was saying. I am very passionate about sharing my journey here on YouTube. And while it takes a good bit more effort than just building software and throwing it into the void, it gives me a platform to talk about the things that are difficult in my journey, and also helps me celebrate those small wins that I was talking about before. Being able to connect with other folks who are building software is an awesome thing as well. So people leave comments and I'm able to comment back to them, and having a sense of community around this is a really cool thing. And I've been able to have a lot of really cool conversations that have come out of these videos. In addition to YouTube, I also have a few friends who are software engineers as well, and they are very interested and invested in this journey, and I keep them updated all the time about things that I'm building, how I'm building them. We get to talk about the technical aspects of what I'm building, and then I also have some friends who are really interested in the marketing aspect of things as well, so we can talk the business side. And then actually a third bonus thing is I talk to my girlfriend about this a lot, because like I said, I'm building this product for us, and so any way that she can tell me, any way that she can give me feedback that can maybe make the platform better is something that I'm always all ears for. And she's always super supportive and listens to all the problems that I've created from building software. So like I said, I'm building this alone, writing all the code myself, doing all the marketing myself, but I'm not alone in this process. And I think that is a really important thing to note, that it's very, very difficult to just exist in a bubble where only you are in that bubble. And if you're able to branch out a little bit, talk to other folks who are in the same space or maybe have similar experiences as you, it's only going to benefit you in your mental well-being, and just the ideas that you're able to create when you're able to bounce them off other people is normally a great thing as well. So that'll wrap this video up. That's how I'm staying motivated building SaaS by myself here in 2025 and hopefully for many, many years to come. If any of these methods resonated with you or you have any of your own, please share them down in the comments. Thanks again for watching all the way through. Definitely subscribe, like I said, if you're into SaaS and software content. I really appreciate you watching the video. Have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you in the next one.